You're listening to Just Hit Play with your hosts, Peter and Nick Cabral. If you're tired of your stagnant, streamed music feed, then strap yourselves in for an intergenerational sonic journey through Peter and Nick's favorite songs.
Welcome to episode 180 of Just Hit Play. I'm your host, Peter. With me is my co-host, Nick. Nick, you're still buzzing? How's it going?
Still buzzing. Yeah, it's going great. I just came from the official Liverpool Supporters Club event in Toronto for our Champions League tie against Atletico Madrid. We scored a 92nd minute game-winning goal. So yeah, it was just an unreal experience.
Yeah.
Like seeing that in a pub full of people who are also huge fans of the same club as you, all of you just screaming, like, you know, getting up from your seat and jumping arm in arm with people you've never spoken to.
Right.
Like it's an awesome experience. So I'm on a bit of a high right now. I can't lie.
Now, are you excited for the World Cup coming?
Of course. Yeah.
Are you going to go
awesome having that in Toronto? I would love to go to a game. I will certainly try my hardest. I just, I don't want to spend like multiple thousands of dollars to go to one. No. So I'm going to try to do it without having to take out a loan. If that's not possible, then they always do the fan festivals and stuff, like in the host cities, where they put the big screen up and you can watch with people. So I can always just go to that. That looks like a lot of fun.
Is it BMO Field? Is that where they're playing games?
Yeah, it'll be at BMO Field. They've had to install temporary seating to expand it to make it like World Cup spec. So
because I think it has to be at least 50,000, I believe, to be able to seat.
Yeah, so they've installed like temporary bleachers over the one end of the field to just extend it up and get to 50,000 capacity.
No, there are rumors, and I don't believe these rumors at all, but there are rumors saying that America might lose all the World Cup games because of the political stuff that's going on in America. I don't believe it personally, because if Kuwait can hold the games, and I think the Russia held the games, and I think, is it Saudi Arabia the games are going to be in the next one or something?
Yeah, and we just had it in Qatar, so
yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen. As much as I don't like the political system in America, I think they're going to be fine and have all the games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue.
No, not at all. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations in the world.
Exactly.
I think it's FIFA and the Olympic organization.
Yeah.
They're the two most corrupt organizations in the world. I think they'll be fine.
Gianni Infantino, the FIFA head, and Trump, they're best friends.
They're buddies. Yeah, no, they pal around, don't they?
They're boys. Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, so I get a bit of a giggle whenever I see, America might lose the games. I'm like, they're not going to lose shit.
No.
But it's funny because, what is it? I don't know how many countries are banned from having citizens travel to America, and I'm guessing some of those countries will have teams playing in the World Cup. So I'm curious on how that's going to work out.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your week going? Everything good?
Otherwise, it's all been good. Yeah, I've been off pretty much the whole week, off of work.
Oh, nice.
I worked a lot previously, and so I was rewarded with a nice 6-day stretch off.
Oh, that's
so I've been really taking advantage and just relaxing and trying to have as much free time and leisure time as I can.
Yeah. This has been a ridiculous week for me. I had to go to Sydney on Sunday. It was a fly-in, fly-out. So I flew in the morning. I think I landed about 8:30 in the morning. And this is when people don't understand a photographer's job, really. I think I landed at 8:30 and my job started at 9 a.m. And I had all this gear that I, obviously I checked. So I had to wait for them to come out. Luckily, where I was going was right next to the airport. So by the time I got out, it was 9:15 and the job was supposed to start at 9 a.m. And I had all this gear. I had a huge suitcase, my backpack, and another rolling case for photography. And I get in this taxi cab and I tell him where I'm going. And he goes, "No, get out. I'm not taking you there. I've been here for 3 hours waiting, and that's 5 minutes away."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Listen, dude, I'm really running late." He goes, "No, you get an Uber." And I was like, the lineup for Uber is ridiculous. And I go, "Just charge me $40 because I was going to just run it back to the company that hired me anyway." And eventually he did, but yeah, he was pissed that I was just going 5 minutes away. But we made a deal, and I paid him $40 for
Hey,
the
you got to
drive.
do what you got to do.
Yeah,
Like you said, it's not your money.
no, and yeah, I can understand. He's taxis are. I think it's the same in Canada, but taxis here in Australia are having a bit of a tough time with Uber, and Uber is taking a lot of their business. And when you're waiting for 3 hours for a taxi, or waiting for 3 hours for a fare, and I come in and I'm going 5 minutes just down the road,
Yeah,
I
I'd
can
be
understand
pissed.
he was pissed. But what am I going to do?
What are you going to do? You got to get there.
Yeah, exactly right. But I was counting. I think this week, I've made like $4,500 just from photography jobs this week alone.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
fantastic.
it's been a good week. Next week, not so much. I don't have much on for probably the next 2 months. I don't have much on, like little jobs here and there, but I have to maximize the weeks that I can. So this is one of those weeks.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of feast and famine, right?
Yeah. I start ramping up again late November, December. December is a great month for photography here. So I start ramping up again. But yeah, this month has been really, really good. I think I'm almost at $10,000 this month. So
Nice.
I have to hold on to this as much as I can, because I'm about to go into some lean periods coming up. So
100%.
yeah,
Take advantage, maximize.
yeah, this is the point that I try to make as much money as I can.
Yeah.
But another company called me. It was like, "Are you free next week? I'm like, yeah. I was talking to Angie about this when the iPhones came out in modern phones with better cameras. Photography was thought it was a dying industry, but I've never been busier. And I'm doing a lot more high-end sort of photography stuff, obviously, like stuff that iPhones and smartphones can't do. But I was a little bit worried that my business was going to dry up a little bit, and it's been the reverse of that, actually. What it's actually done, it's dried up the little jobs that I used to get.
Right.
And it's left more of the high-end work available. So I guess that's the one thing that iPhones have taken away, is the littler jobs that they needed a quick photograph. You can just do that on your iPhone now.
For sure. Right,
Yeah.
right. But that's probably a better use of your time anyway, right? The high-end stuff.
Yeah. So I have 3 jobs that I'm currently editing. And the job I'm doing tonight, I don't have to edit, thank God. But I'm working tomorrow and I'm working Saturday. So I think this is my 7th day straight I'm doing jobs. So it's been a good week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good week.
Yeah. Speaking of good week, let's listen to some good music. You're going first this week, so tell us about your artist.
All right. This week, I got you to listen to a band that I'm sure you're at least a little familiar with, given that they're more from your era. We're going to listen to the song Infinite Source by the band Deftones from their newest album, only a few weeks old, called Private Music. Darren just hit play on some Deftones. So you said last week that you are indeed familiar with some Deftones. You know their stuff, some of their older stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you went into the song with a bit of preconceived notions about them and their music too, but tell me, what did you think of Infinite Source?
No, really good segue, because obviously I've known about Deftones since the late 90s. They were a whole part of the new metal sort of movement in the late 90s with like Korn and Limp Bizkit, bands of that ilk. And they were sort of the younger brother. They weren't as popular as like Korn or Limp Bizkit and those bands. And I always sort of admired the Deftones. I sort of left that sort of music. I think the late 90s was a pale comparison to the early 90s, the music. I think it wasn't as good, and it got a little bit worse. I think you look at bands like The Prodigy, Chemical Brothers, Fatboy Slim, that was like 1997, that kind of era, and Moby and those bands. So I think that's the music I was kind of listening to more around that era. But a good segue, because this was not what I was expecting. This is a shoegaze song, if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. This is shoegaze metal. If we want to strip it down and assign a label to it, this is shoegaze metal. And I love it. I absolutely love this song. I love this sound. And I'm quite honestly addicted to this entire album that released. because it's very much in this vein, in this style.
But you're a shoegaze guy, though. You like shoegaze.
Of course, yeah. I've never met a wall of sound that I didn't like. I'll just say that, right?
Yeah.
There's something about just certain chords and certain notes when they just take over your headphones and they rattle around your head. God, I love it so much. And so, yeah, I love this song. I really do. I love the whole album. Deftones, I can't act like I've been a fan of them for a while, because I really haven't. Like, it's only in the last couple months that I've even listened to them, and only in the last few weeks that I've really started to appreciate their music.
So that's a question for you. So how did you, a kid of 25, get to listen to a band that's been around since the 90s? How did that happen?
So I might be about to blow your mind here, but Deftones right now are kind of considered like Gen Z's metal band. They're like the most popular metal heavy rock band in the last 30 years among my generation. Off the top of my head, I can name at least 5 friends of mine who love Deftones and don't listen to any other metal, heavy rock, anything like that. They just love Deftones and Deftones only.
Okay.
They are huge among my generation.
Yeah. Okay.
So
wasn't expecting
that might be surprising for you to hear, but they're absolutely massive.
Now, do you find, and again, I'm taking it a little bit off topic, with the whole thing that happened with Ozzy Osbourne and his death, do you find that kids are listening to Black Sabbath or 70s metal? Is that made a resurgence at all?
Not among my circles at all, but people love Deftones. Like, oh my God, people have been begging, friends of mine, Nick, you would love Deftones. Nick, you got to listen to White Pony. It's the best album ever. White Pony, this. They're always sending me songs from White Pony. And I tried to listen to that album a few times.
Right.
And I'll admit, I have some biases against metal music. I really do. I came up in a time where Screamo was huge.
Yes, it was.
Screamo was the metal music of my formative years.
Yeah.
And I think that completely turned me against the genre, truly.
Yeah, sure.
And so when I press play on White Pony, again, people are bombarding me. They have been for so long. Nick, listen to White Pony. It's amazing. Deftones, this, that. And I press play on the first song on that album, and I hear a little bit of Screamo, and I was instantly turned off. Right?
Yeah.
Like, instantly, this isn't for me. It's metal music. I don't like metal. It's over.
Yep.
And then this album came out a few weeks ago, and it's the same people. They're like, Nick, listen to this album. It's so good. You're going to love it. I said, what the hell? Sure.
Yeah.
And it only took a couple songs for me to completely fall in love. I've had this album on repeat. And then I went back and listened to White Pony again, now knowing what the band is capable of.
Yeah.
And I got past the first couple songs, and it's amazing. So I'm now all in on the Deftones.
Okay, you're a Deftones guy. Okay, yeah. I think what this music does really, really well, and what a lot of rock music does well, is the swelling. It swells really well. It builds. There's I think with pop music and some hip hop, it's very same. I think it relies on the singer or the rapper to perform it to add any dynamic tones to the music. But here, it's more the band that does it. The singer doesn't at all. He doesn't add a lot of dynamic range to the song. It's the song itself. It's the musicians that do it here. Exactly. I do have one gripe, and it's not about the Deftones. It is about this song, but it's not about the Deftones specifically. It's about how modern music is mixed. And this has nothing to do with the Deftones. It's just how it's done, and I get why it's done this way. Everything is mixed to sound really loud. The softer parts of songs are mixed at the same level as the loud parts of songs. I think you lose a little bit of the range of songs, and I know the reason why. Attention spans aren't as are quite shorter. People are listening to these songs through their iPhones or their smartphones or shitty headphones, and you have to make it sound better. I kind of don't like that style personally. I like the older style where there is shifts in music and and you can build to something a little bit more. But that's my only gripe on the song. It's like the soft parts and the loud parts are recorded or are mixed at the same level. I hope that makes sense.
I think that may just come with the territory of leaning into the shoegaze, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah,
Because shoegaze at its core is a genre where everything is mixed together to form
yeah,
the trademark wall of sound.
yep.
So I think that may be a symptom of them leaning into those
Yeah,
inspirations a
it
bit.
could be as well. But even think like
So
even like the Red Hot Chili Peppers music is mixed so badly, and
yeah,
yeah,
well,
I
they're
just
just not a
wish
very good band.
I just wish it would be mixed a little bit more. I don't know. It's just a little bit over the top. But again, I digress. That's just a personal opinion.
So it really is impressive to me, like how big Deftones are,
Mm,
especially because rock as a genre has kind of fallen by the wayside for Gen
absolutely.
Z.
Yeah.
We really haven't taken to it en masse, but the Deftones just played at the brand new Rogers Stadium venue in Toronto,
Oh wow.
purpose
Okay.
built for big shows.
Yep.
It was Deftones and System of a Down. Those
Okay.
were
That's a pretty
that was
good
the
bill.
show.
Yeah.
So I know so many people that went to that show,
Yeah.
half for Deftones, half for System of a Down,
Yeah. Yeah.
and loved it. Like there were a lot of young people, friends of mine, at that show. So they definitely have that
Mm.
nostalgic pull, but I think Deftones have kind of endured, whereas their
Mm.
new music is getting loved as much
Yeah.
as their old stuff. Whereas I think in more of a System of a Down, a Korn, they're kind of just a nostalgia act at this point.
Hmm. Yeah, I bet at that show, the System of a Down Deftones show, there wasn't a lot of people wearing color. I bet 99%
No,
of people was more just they just wore black. I'd love if
yeah,
someone
I
wore
would
like
imagine.
a shirt or pink shoes or something. Yeah, I would say that probably didn't happen.
Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
a lot of crazy things that I've read in the last week doing research for Deftones. Apparently, they're considered to be the Radiohead of metal music,
Okay.
which is kind of wild, but I do see it. I do see that a lot. They've reinvented their sound a lot. I've gone back and listened to a sampling of their music across
Hmm.
their career, their discography, to get a sense of it, and they have reinvented themselves many
Hmm.
times, I can say, and they always try to keep their sound fresh. And have you ever listened to the album White Pony?
No, no, I've not listened to a Deftones song since 1997.
So White Pony was their third album. It came out in 2000, and that's considered their OK Computer, we can say.
Mm,
Like people talk about White Pony in the same breath as OK Computer, as that was the
right,
one
right.
that really changed everything for them. They broke away from nu metal and they sort of started transcending genres. They went to industrial, trip hop, shoegaze, ambient, everything. That's the album that's most recommended to listen to by
Hmm.
Deftones, and yeah, it's really quite something. It's really, really, really good.
Okay, yeah, I might have to give it. So White Pony, I might have to give it a go and see if it grabs me in any way.
Yeah, it's really good. Just get past the first song where they do a bit of screamo.
Okay,
Don't
yeah,
get
yeah,
stuck on the first one.
that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do my best. Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool. I love when I get to finally have a band click for me like this, where I've
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
before and then it's not really doing much, and then I keep going back and still not doing much, and then finally like something clicks in my brain and I like it, and that's
Hmm.
exactly what's happened for Deftones for me.
Hmm.
And it took, I think, this song in particular, where it's got a really big swell, it's got some amazing guitar,
Mm,
just a great feeling to
yep,
it,
it does.
a very euphoric feeling. I think it took this song to get me to appreciate this band as a
Interesting.
whole and look past like my previous failed attempts.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's cool. Like I said, it's a great song. It swells. It surprised me. I was not expecting a shoegaze kind of sound, and that's exactly what it was. Yeah, it surprised me. So yeah, credo to you.
And it must be always a bit of an interesting feeling when I give you a song from a band that you've
Mm.
last heard like maybe 30 years ago, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you come to find out they're nothing like how you last heard them, and right, like I can only imagine what that must be like.
Well, and and a lot of that is my own fault because I bring so much baggage to the listening party. It has nothing to do
Right.
with the band. They're just trying to make music that's good, and they're trying to make a living. I'm the one that's bringing all the baggage to the music, so it's on me really. It's not on the band.
No, but it's also nice. That's the beauty of this podcast, right? Is I get to be like, hey, here's this band that you once wrote off as a Korn ripoff. Listen to the brilliant shoegaze they're making now.
Yeah, and music as an art form is unlike any art form because, as a photographer, I can make beautiful pictures until I'm unable to carry a camera. And painters can paint, and Pablo Picasso was painting well into his 80s. Writers can write up until their brains aren't mush. It's music it's sort of like being an athlete. It's really music that allows you, like, that 15-year span where you can really be in your prime. I don't know why that is about music, but that seems to be when bands make their most money. And there are bands like the Deftones that can exist, and the Beatles and the Stones and all that kind of stuff. But it's really, you have a very short amount of time where you can really succeed. And music is a very different art form.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And it's really cool. I love when bands are able to keep themselves relevant like this. Radiohead, same way, have kept themselves very relevant.
Yep.
Slow Dive is bigger than they've ever been with my generation. People love Slow Dive. They're putting out new music. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, cool. It was really cool to hear. It was a good song. It was a good song to live with for a week.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
All right. Jesus Christ. I got you listening to Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler. So I'm getting you to listen to music that are so 80s that if you grew up in the 80s, you remember this song so vividly and you're like, yep, that's the 80s. And I preface this by saying that sometimes less is more. Well, this is not that song. This is more is more is more is more. And let's listen to Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero. Darren, just hit play. Okay, I'm guessing you've heard this song before because it's been everywhere. But what were your thoughts?
So of course, yes, I've heard this song many times before. Yeah. It's in all the media, right? Yeah. It's an instantly recognizable song. It's almost a meme, right? It's that level of song where it's everywhere and you know when it's going to be played in a movie. But I don't think I've ever in my life heard the second half of the song.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I don't think I've ever in my life heard it. And it's really good. It was really good. It was like you're in a video game and you unlock a secret level at the end of the game and you're like, oh wait, there's more. That was how I felt listening to the song. Like, oh, after the chorus there's like another verse and it's actually quite good and quite interesting. So it was actually a very interesting experience listening to the song all week. Because it's something I've known so well, and the chorus I've heard it a gazillion times. Yeah. But I got to get a little more of it, and yeah, it was really cool, actually. I really enjoyed the second half of the song.
Well, when you talked about a wall of sound, that's what this song is. It's got everything. It's got like drum fills, it's got horns, it's got a choir, it's got symphony instrumentation. It does not hold back. It literally throws everything at the recording and tries to make it sound as big and as epic as it possibly can. That is Holding Out for a Hero. It is ridiculous how big this song is.
It's like they made it with the intention of, okay, when Gandalf shows up at dawn on the third day at Helm's Deep, like this is the song that's going to be playing as he leads like the army into battle.
Well, okay, so here's the funny thing about this song. It was from a movie soundtrack. Now, do you know what movie soundtrack it's from?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea.
So, thinking about this song, thinking about the title of this song, and the impact of this song, and the bigosity of this song, you're like a Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Stallone, like an Indiana Jones type of character.
Sure,
in that kind of movie, right?
Like a larger than life hero, you know?
Exactly. This was from the Footloose soundtrack. So
They made this for Footloose?
So if anyone's not aware, Footloose is about Kevin Bacon as a young man bringing dance to a town that is forbidden dance.
Oh man.
Okay.
Sorry. They made this song for Footloose?
Yep.
That's good. That's so good.
Yep.
That's
Isn't that amazing?
Good. Oh man, that's so good.
And I would also like to point out, I did use ChatGPT for the research of this episode, and ChatGPT got something wrong. So when I did the research, it goes, this was for the science fiction movie Footloose. Well, I guess technically, if you're bringing dance to small town America, the Bible Belt of America, isn't that sci-fi? Maybe. I guess the argument could be made.
Maybe if you squint, maybe it's sci-fi.
Right. So, yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny.
I've never seen it.
Footloose?
Footloose.
It's alright. It's okay. You don't have to see it. You know what? Okay. The interesting thing about Footloose is that Kevin Bacon is not a good dancer. And the scenes where there's like intricate dancing, it's always shot from a distance, and they got an Olympic guy to do the dancing.
Oh, okay.
Because there are moves that are done in this movie that Kevin Bacon has no ability to do. So yeah. So it's like there's a movie called Flashdance, which was around the same era. And Irene Cara, is it Irene Cara? I can't remember the name of it. No, it's not Irene Cara. She sang a song on the soundtrack, but I can't remember the name of the actress who did the Flashdance movie. And she couldn't dance the way the singer the performer could dance. So again, they shot a lot of faraway scenes in silhouette where they actually had another dancer do all the dance parts. So that's the big difference between the 80s and now. I think we're looking for more authenticity now, where the actors should be able to do a lot of the stuff themselves. In the 80s, that wasn't a problem.
Yeah, nowadays, I think an actor would just take dance classes for a few months before filming to at least be good enough to do it.
No. I've talked about this in another episode. There was an episode of the Love Boat, which was a TV show where Tony Danza, a famous Italian American actor, played a Japanese character on the show.
Okay.
He does not look Japanese. And he wasn't playing like a half Japanese where his mother was Japanese and his father was Italian. Like he was playing like a full-blooded Japanese person. He just looked ethnic, and that was enough, right? So that was the 80s.
Yeah, nowadays, in Magic Mike, Channing Tatum, he's doing all that dancing.
Right, exactly.
There's no dance double in Magic Mike. That's all Channing Tatum.
That's a good point. That's a perfect example of the difference between the two genres. Yeah. But that soundtrack, the Footloose soundtrack, was a mega soundtrack. It features some huge hits. So if you ever want to listen to a classic 80s soundtrack, stick on the Footloose soundtrack. It's something else.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. So Bonnie Tyler, this is going to surprise you. She's Welsh.
Okay.
Yeah, great voice. That raspy, fantastic voice. That is due to a medical condition. She has nodules on her vocal cords, which has given her that sort of sound.
That is very interesting. Yeah. Very, very interesting, actually. Wow.
So her two big songs is this one, Holding Out for a Hero, and another song called Total Eclipse of the Heart, which was released in 1983. This one, Holding Out for a Hero, was in 1984. So 2 huge years for Bonnie Tyler for these two songs. Huge hits for
Total Eclipse of the Heart, of course, a classic.
Yeah, that's Bonnie Tyler.
Completely classic song. So Bonnie Tyler has done very well for herself. I think those two, the Total Eclipse of the Heart and this song, that can fund you for the rest of your life. That's generational wealth from those two songs.
And I had a choice between the two songs, whether to play Total Eclipse of the Heart or Holding Out for a Hero. The reason I chose Holding Out for a Hero is because it was from the Footloose soundtrack, because that's just ridiculous. So I thought that'd be funny.
It is.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. So Bonnie Tyler now, she's still alive, and she performed at the Eurovision Song Contest representing the UK in 2013. So that was probably her last big thing she did in music that I could find, or at least that ChatGPT told me she was doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah, it's considered one of Wales's most celebrated artists, at least musical artists. So there's Bonnie Tyler.
Do you know any other Welsh singers?
No, well, I'm guessing there's a bunch that I had no idea were Welsh. I'm guessing, but yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of one.
All right, I've just done a quick Google
Yeah, do
search.
it.
Yeah, Bonnie Tyler. Tom Jones. Do you know who Tom
Oh,
Jones
Tom
is?
Jones, sure, yeah, Tom Jones, yeah,
Yeah, he's Welsh.
yep,
Uh, and Dame Shirley Bassey, the singer behind Diamonds
yeah,
Are Forever.
yeah, great singer, hell of a singer.
And that's about it.
Yep,
So yeah, shout out Wales. Gareth Bale, what a
yep, Gareth
footballer.
Bale, Ryan Giggs.
Yes, Giggsy.
Yeah, so
So
there
yeah,
you
we love Wales.
go. Yeah. What song do you have for me for next week?
All right. So next week, I'm doing a bit of a new thing where
Mm,
I'm going to get you to listen to some music that my friends have put me onto.
okay.
In the spirit of this podcast, which is sharing music
Yep,
with each other,
absolutely.
putting people on, I'm going to get you to listen to songs that I didn't find myself, other people told me to listen to, and I loved. So first, you're going to listen to the song Cherry by Magdalena Bay. We featured Magdalena Bay on
Yes,
this podcast
I
before.
remember her. Yeah.
Yeah, you quite liked Magdalena Bay.
Yep.
So we're going to listen to the song Cherry from their
Okay.
album Mercurial World.
Nice, nice. Okay, we're going to do another couple of classic 80s songs. And it's funny, I'm getting you to listen to all the classic 80s songs are all done by female artists. And that's no different. We're going to listen to Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield, for next week.
Okay, very nice.
Okay. Let's do
Um,
this day in music history.
Before,
Oh, sure.
actually,
Go ahead.
before the Stay Music History, I have a bone to pick with you, actually.
Okay, do it.
And I'm actually acting as a surrogate here.
Okay.
The real person picking the bone is my father.
Yeah. What do we got?
So he called me last week on
Yeah.
Sunday. He called me, and he was quite heated. He was
He was
listening
very
to
upset?
our newest episode. He was very upset.
Yeah.
He was listening to our newest episode, and he couldn't believe the way in which you diminished Betty Davis. He was aghast, actually,
Yep.
at how you were diminishing Betty Davis's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got an email here from him
Yep.
with a couple of accolades.
Sure, yeah. Let's do it.
I'm just doing some image rehab for Betty Davis,
Yep,
so
yep.
that we are setting the record straight.
Yep.
She was not a nobody, all right. She was, as my dad said, one of the greatest actresses of all time,
yeah.
possibly the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just set the record straight here, okay? She won the Oscar for Best Actress twice.
Mm-hmm.
Was the first person to get 10 Oscar nominations for acting.
Mm-hmm.
The first woman to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Film Institute. And in 1999 was placed second on the American Film Institute's list of the greatest female stars of Hollywood cinema, behind, of course, Katharine Hepburn.
Yep.
And to top it off, her role in All About Eve has been widely considered, one of the greatest performances ever put on screen. So I'm just doing my due diligence.
That's all right. I like being called up on things that I got wrong. That's fine with me.
Yeah. Betty Davis, one of the best actresses ever. And I feel like we didn't do her justice last week.
In my defense, I will say this. You know, since your dad is so significantly older than I am, he experienced life in such a different way than I did. That he would have remembered Betty Davis a lot more than I would have, because I'm so much younger than he is. And
you're in your 30s, right? You're
right.
mid-30s.
I'm in my early to mid 30s.
Yeah.
So there's just more mileage on your dad. So he just would remember this a lot better than I would.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. But in respect and honor to Betty Davis, I couldn't bear us leaving the impression that we weren't aware of her legacy. So set the record straight. We acknowledge Betty Davis,
that's all right.
One of the best to ever do it.
Also, if you ever find that we have said anything that you think is incorrect, please send us a text. There is on the notes of every episode, you look through your pod player, there is something called Send Us a Text. Please do so, and we would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay. This day in music history. Now, this one's a big one, Nick. On this day, the 21st of September, 1992, Parlophone Records released Creep by Radiohead as their debut single.
Wow.
The single didn't chart, but featured a majority on the critics' list at the end of the year as one of the top songs of the year. And I think it's one of my favorite songs ever recorded. I love Creep so much. I became a huge Radiohead devotee after I heard this song. And I know you love Radiohead. So, yeah, in 1992, this date, Creep was released.
Wow. Shout out Creep.
Yeah.
Fantastic song. Yeah, not much else to say other than it's hilarious that the band hates it. I understand why they do, though. I would also hate Creep if I was Radiohead. I would despise that song, too. So I do get it.
Yeah, Tom York's house is the house that Creep built. So there you go.
And I've already said this on the pod, but not too long ago, I was at an arcade bar. They had a rock band event. I asked the MC, what's the most requested song for rock band, people to play Rock Band live? He said, without a doubt, it's Creep.
There you go. Great rock song, great guitar song. Yeah. So Darren, let's get the people to listen to a little bit of Creep by Radiohead. Just hit play. But I'm a creep. All right, what are your plans for the rest of the week?
Well, unfortunately, I have to go back to the real world and work a little bit again. So I'm doing 4 nights again, 4 12s. So from Thursday night to Sunday night.
Those are tough days, yeah.
Yeah, whole weekend, and that's about it. So yeah, I'll reevaluate next week. It's when I do those stretches of like 4 12s, especially when it's nights, it's almost like I'm not really a member of society anymore. Right. Like I'm just sort of going to work, coming home, and then going back to work. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side.
Yeah, you almost become like a ring wraith at that point. You're just sort of in between reality and the shadow world.
Exactly. Yeah, and when I have the feeling like when I'm walking out of the hospital, I know it's just going to feel like I'm right back there again because I'm just going to bed and waking up and going again. So, but I get rewarded with long stretches off like this one that I'm just wrapping up. So I can't complain.
Just as an aside, my dog just came up to me, and if you could hear something breathing quite heavily, it's my dog. And living in the tropics is an interesting thing because I have a mango tree in my backyard, and this dog will eat mango off the tree, and her farts are just awful. So she just came up to me, nuzzled my hand, and farted, and it's the worst mango smell you've ever smelled in your entire life. So
that's good fiber, though, right? Mangoes have good fiber. So I think it's good for the GI system.
I've never met
all those mangoes.
We have a rescue dog. Her name is Piper, and I've never met a dog like this. She'll eat broccoli, blueberries, strawberries, loves banana, depending where you live, loves mango, watermelon. She loves her fruit. My previous dog, Polly, was strictly cheese and meat. She didn't want anything else. This dog,
the only thing
The only thing I haven't seen this dog, she didn't like lettuce. I dropped a piece of lettuce on the floor, and she sniffed it and didn't eat it. She's taken a corn chip out of my hand. She loves corn chips. I think it's, maybe because she was a street dog and she just ate whatever she could find. She's an interesting dog. Lovely dog, beautiful dog, but will eat, loves fruit for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, that's an incredible diet. So Piper's doing quite well.
She loves broccoli. Frozen broccoli is like one of her favorite things. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. So that's my Piper. I'm so busy still. So I have another job today. I have another job tomorrow morning. I have a job Saturday, and Sunday's my day off, but I'll be editing. So it's not really a day off. So that's what I'll be doing over the next few days. And next week, next week I've one job and potentially 2 jobs next week. So one job is I'm going to Coolum, which is a Sunshine Coast here in Australia. It's about an hour's drive for me. And there's a Pilates studio that has just opened up, and they want shots of people using the Pilates machines and sort of like a wine meet and greet sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing next week. I might also, there's a fitness influencer that I've been talking to who wants a job of her doing like fitness things, but I think she has access to like a boxing ring. So I'm going to set up a couple lights and a smoke machine and see what we can make. So I think that might be happening next week. So that'll be kind of cool. That'll be a very engaging shoot where we can set up like light streaming through smoke and stuff like that. So we'll see how we do on that one.
Oh, that ought to be awesome. That'll be very fun.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. If you do want to see any of my photography, go in the show notes. You can see a link to my Instagram page, and you can see some of my photos there.
Nice.
Our independent artist this week is Daisy Peacock from the UK, and she sent us a message through Instagram and asked us if we would play her brand new song called Bare Minimum. And of course we will, because I listened to it and it's a really good song. So it's a fun tongue-in-cheek to a generation tired of low-effort love. Yes, that is 100%. I back you 100% on low-effort love is awful. And this song was released on September 5th, and so we're going to listen to it now, Bare Minimum by Daisy Peacock. And if you're an independent artist and you want to be featured on this podcast, please reach out and send us a message, and we'll happily play one of your songs. And don't forget to support your independent artists. Nick, we're going to talk to you next week.
You got it.
I have this kind of sick need to be the last one, holding my breath till you beg me to stop. I wanna kick you into gear, show you how easy it is to keep me here. Cause it's really just a couple of buzzwords, baby. Easiest level of the game you're playing. I'm giving up on apologies and second tries. Say you see me when you close your eyes. I wonder where you got that line. I'm a bare minimum kind of girl. You really don't have to come close to the world. You'll impress me with whatever you have in store. I know my standards are on the floor, but so are you. I don't know how to say how I feel till it's too late. You ask me the once, why do I tell you it's okay? And you act like that's a standing ovation. About myself, I'll never take you off probation. It's really just a couple of buzzwords, baby. Easiest level of the game you're playing. I'm giving up on apologies and second tries. Say you see me when you close your eyes. I wonder where you got that line. I'm a bare minimum kind of girl. You really don't have to come close to the world. You'll impress me with whatever you have in store. I know my standards are on the floor, but so are you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Maybe I subconsciously prefer. Don't let it get sweet in case you turn. Don't give me the earth, cause you'll take it away. I won't survive that kind of heartbreak. I'm giving up on apologies and second tries. Say you see me when you close your eyes. I wonder where you got that line. I'm a bare minimum kind of girl. You really don't have to come close to the world. You'll impress me with whatever you have in store. I know my standards are on the floor, but so are you.
You've been listening to Just Hit Play. To contact your hosts, Peter and Nick, or to be featured on an episode as musical talent, email justhitplay7300@gmail.com. Keep up to date with news and announcements by following on Instagram and Facebook, linked in the show notes. Subscribe on your favourite podcatcher to tune in next week for more sonic delights. And if you can't wait till then, check out the Just Hit playlist on Spotify, linked in the show notes. A special thanks to Braden Munch for the theme song, and thank you for listening.